The F1 circus headed to Interlagos for round 2 of the 2021 season, and Ferrari's dominance was confirmed here today with a 1-2 lockout, Daniel Ricciardo taking pole position ahead of his teammate. It was then a German 3, 4 and 5 with Esteban Ocon, the top German for now, whilst Adrian Sutil lived up to expectations, but rookie AlexZAfRo had a tough qualifying session and will start in 10th place. Ferrucci once again put in a great performance for the Haas team, putting them easily into the top 10, and Max Verstappen beat Valtteri Bottas in their Skoda inter-team battle. Williams struggled to find the pace they had in Australia, whilst Prema took a leap into midfield and could be in contention for points here today. Unfortunately though, for Aston Martin and BMW, they look like they will both struggle this weekend in Brazil. So let's run you through the starting order ahead of today's Brazilian Grand Prix. It was 400ths of a second that separated the two Ferrari drivers, but Daniel Ricciardo just about gets pole position, beating his teammate of Antonio Giovinazzi. There was nothing separating the two Mercedes drivers who line up on the second row of the grid. Esteban Ocon getting that third place just ahead of his teammate Sebastian Vettel. Adrian Sutil lines up on the third row of the grid. Max Verstappen alongside him in P6. Then Ferrucci and the Haas lining up in 7th with Nico Curry, the rookie driver for Williams, lining up 8th on the grid. Valtteri Bottas is in P9 with AlexZAfRo only 0.5 of a second behind his experienced teammate. Not too bad in qualifying there from the rookie driver. Lance Stroll lines up in P11, just missing out on the top 10 with Mick Schumacher for the Haas team lining up in 12th position. It's an all McLaren 7th row, Carlos Sainz just about getting the better of his experienced teammate of Lewis Hamilton with Pierre Gasly lining up in P15. Then it's Luca Giotto in the Toyota lining up in 16th place. Romain Grosjean, not a good qualifying session there for the French driver in the Aston Martin, qualifying in P17. Then it's Charles Leclerc in 18th, George Russell in 19th, Fukuzumi in the final Toyota lining up in 20th place. And it's a disappointing qualifying session for the two BMWs with Nico Hülkenberg in 21st and Pascal Wehrlein at the back of the grid in 22nd positions. So that is your starting grid ahead of today's race. Let me hand you back to AlexZAfRo for the Brazilian Grand Prix.
Great stuff, thank you Hayden for that qualifying report. So now it's time to look at the possible strategies for this Brazilian Grand Prix here. Two options really for the front starters here today. Starting on the softs, then going on to either the medium compound or the hard compound tyre. So it depends really about how far you think you can stretch that soft tyre at the start of this race here. Most people probably going to be opting for the hard, just the safer option here in this weekend. But maybe the aggressive option, if you want to try and possibly get a position later on in this race, would be go to the medium option halfway through this race. So let's get ready for the lights and the Brazilian Grand Prix to start here in F1 2021. So the lights are coming on here for the second race of this season here, and the red lights are out, and away we go here in our Volkswagen car, starting in P10. Not a very good qualifying result whatsoever. We've got Bottas and Ferrucci on our outside here. We should be able to get past them pretty easily. They've not decided to defend that position very well. It looks like we're up to P9 for now. Ferrucci's actually just squeezed past there in his Haas car. Looks like he's going to keep the position for now. Down this back straight, are we going to be able to get past Ferrucci, get in his slipstream here? We might be able to get this overtake done in the braking zone. I think we are on board with now with Ferrucci. Yes, we're side by side, and I think we've just nabbed that position of Santino Ferrucci up into P8 there. So let's have a quick look at this start here once again here. Ferrari dominating the front row, and you can see it was a really good start from my teammate there. Adrian Sutil's getting past one of the Mercedes cars already, nearly the other one into turn 1. We nearly got past Ferrucci in turn 1, but he just about edged us out through turn 2. So unfortunately we didn't quite get that position there, but we know we did a good enough run thanks to the slipstream to get the overtake done into the next corner here. You can also see at the front of this pack here, P3, Adrian Sutil's going past on the Mercedes cars and actually got himself up into the third position. That's great stuff from the Volkswagen team. So we're now right up behind Nico Curry after our not exactly great qualifying. We're having to battle through some of the slower cars here in this mid-pack here. So Nico Curry in the Williams. Oh, we're going to get past him here. Looks like it's going to be an easy enough overtake around the outside here. The Volkswagen car does have more grip than the Williams. Let's not beat around the bush like that. It's a much better car. So around the outside, not too shabby whatsoever there from us to get the overtake done. Let's actually go back in the pack and look as we just start lap number 2 here. Look at the Prema power teams battling away here with one of the McLarens. Both of them trying to get past here. We're on board with Leclerc right now. Is he going to be able to get the overtake done? He couldn't quite get the overtake done there. His teammate Pierre Gasly got the overtake done, but can Leclerc get him down the back straight away? It's side by side here. We're on the softer tyres, so we should get him on the brakes here. McLaren actually does break a little bit later. You can see the front wing coming alongside, but we do get the overtake done there on board with Leclerc. So let's go on later on this lap. You can see we've got Max Verstappen just in front of us here in the sister car. The Volkswagen team is the main team, Skoda the B team, but we're side by side with Max Verstappen, and we get the same overtake done we did on Nico Carey the lap before, so not too bad whatsoever. Around the outside and a position gain there now, so we've only got really the big three teams in front of us here. Obviously our teammate, and then the Mercedes, and also the Ferrari car, so not too bad whatsoever. We've got Sebastian Vettel next on our list, who's actually still behind his teammate Esteban Ocon. And later down that same straight, you can see we're right up on Sebastian Vettel, got that great slipstream round the outside. We also set the fastest lap as well. Are we going to get to go around the outside of Sebastian Vettel at turn 1? He's locked up or something, because he's really backed out of that one. We've got the position gained up to P5, not too bad whatsoever. So let's look forward at my teammate Adrian Sutil here. He's actually done a really good job. He's now ahead of one of the Ferraris as well, so it looks like Giovinazzi's into the lead of this one, whilst Ricciardo's not exactly the best start after starting on pole. So good stuff from Giovinazzi, and actually Sutil's doing a really good job, actually. Fair play to him. He's gained quite a few positions on the first couple of laps of this race here. Now we're right up behind Esteban Ocon. He's got DRS, but it's no match to ours because he's got no person to follow. So we've got the DRS and a slipstream. Oh, slight contact there, as I think I might have slightly misjudged the turning point, meaning I didn't get such a good sort of line through the corner, and I think Ocon sort of turned in a bit early, so not great for us there. We lost a little bit of time, but thankfully Sutil and Ricciardo battling over P2 are going side by side, which is really helping us as they're really wasting a lot of time by doing so. Ricciardo locks up. We might be able to get this overtake done actually, right up behind Daniel Ricciardo. It's not really an overtaking opportunity, this one. Surely not down the inside in there. No, no, no. We'll back off. A little bit of looking up there. But luckily, we don't go off the track, which would have been a big disaster there. But we're going to stay behind Ricciardo for a bit here. So, on to lap number 5. Sebastian Vettel, after a poor start, is actually behind Max Verstappen. So, now he's got to try and get the overtake done here. Down this back straight, I think with a bit of DRS as well. It's a pretty simple overtake there on Max Verstappen. Got himself back. I think that's the P6. Now we just need to try and close down his teammate and us battling over basically over P2 with Daniel Ricciardo in there as well. So this is lap number 5, and you can see Sutil's going to the pit lane. He's gone for a bit of a different strategy here. He's decided to go pretty early into the pit lane, maybe trying to get an undercut on some fresh tyres here. I think he's going to be switching over to the hard compound tyres, and originally obviously that's what we were planning to do, but we decided to try something different. We decided to try and do something with the medium compound tyres. We tried to sort of stay out a couple of laps later, so hopefully it'll work out for us, but who knows. Sutil might get enough of an advantage with the undercut on these hard tyres to actually benefit way more than us staying out a bit longer. So you see Sutil coming out of pit lane. He's going to sort of join a big gaggle of cars here. There's a McLaren, I think there's an Aston Martin in there, 2 Toyotas, 2 BMWs, so he's quite far down the back of the grid, but fair play to BMW. They've got a terrible car this year, and they're battling with the Toyotas, one of which has a pretty good qualifying, so fair play. They're actually doing quite a good job in race trim. So as Ricciardo pits and we go on to lap number 7 in this race here, we're trying to fend off Esteban Ocon, who's really become a bit of a presence in our rearview mirror over the last couple of laps, so we've got to try and fend him off. This is actually going to be our pit stop lap as well, so it's major to make sure he stays behind us in this lap here. So down the back straightaway here. Are we going to have to go for the sort of defensive line here? Side by side. He's gone really to the inside. I think he's going to get the overtake done. Good stuff from Esteban Ocon there, but we're going to try and get the switch back. We couldn't quite get it there. It's Volkswagen power versus Mercedes power here. Who's going to have the upper hand? Trying to go side by side with Ocon here. He's left the gap on the inside. Not a very conventional overtaking place, but we got that one done. Let's go on board on the last couple of corners here at Brazil. This is going to be our pit stop lap here, so this is when we're going to decide to switch over onto those medium compound tyres we've been eyeing up for the last couple of laps here. In this mod, and actually on this game in general, I think I do much better on the sort of harder compound tyres. It never used to be the case, but for some reason in this game I think it's actually better for me to go onto the harder compound tyres, whichever they may be. And in this race, this is the medium compound tyres in comparison to the soft. So we're exiting pit lane there. No idea what is random tyres in the pit lane. I don't know. You know, exiting pit lane, they're just ahead of Esteban Ocon. Very good pit stops from both of the guys there, but we just about managed to get out ahead. Daniel Ricciardo's come out to pit lane ahead of us, has he? And so is Adrian Sutil. I think we're just going to drop behind him there, which is a little bit gutting. Down this back straight, we're coming out of pit lane just side by side with Giotto. It's going to be quite close stuff here. Down the back straight, I think we're just about going to keep our position ahead of Giotto. And good stuff there from Sutil. He's overtaking one of the back marker McLarens, which has decided so far not to pit. It's probably going for a late sort of switch over tyres. So Sutil, we can see, are on the harder compound tyres, and whilst we're on the mediums. This should be an interesting next couple of laps here to see whether we can close down Sutil and get the overtake done. Going down the inside of the same McLaren there. I think that's Lewis Hamilton there. Up into, which I think will be 5th position once it all plays out. Not too bad whatsoever. You definitely do get the idea that they made a mistake here, putting Sutil on the hard compound tyres. They just don't seem fast at all. So unlucky for him, but hopefully we'll get this overtake done. Having a quick look at Giovinazzi here. He's just going on to lap number 9 here. He's dominating this race at the moment. Such a big gap. The car behind, I'm pretty sure, is a lap down here. So he's doing a really, really good job here, Giovinazzi. And you can see on board here with Sebastian Vettel, who's going for the move in the inside of Luca Giotto. He's moved himself up a position. Good stuff there from Sebastian Vettel. He's still trying to recover after a really bad start, but he's managed to do quite a good job in sort of keeping up with us here. And as we're trying to put pressure on Sutil, we're locking up ourselves and putting ourselves under pressure from Esteban Ocon behind us and the ever-quick Sebastian Vettel behind him. So home straight, DRS, hopefully this will be the time to get the overtake done. Such a big speed difference between us two down the main straight. We're going to get him as we go on to lap number 11. Good stuff, side by side through the first corner, but I think we're going to get the overtake done. There we go, good stuff. It wasn't actually Hamilton, that car they were battling with back there. It was the other McLaren car, so that's interesting stuff. Hamilton is staying out quite long on these tyres right there. So, good stuff. And looks like Ocon's trying to go for the overtake on Sutton as well. It's 3 wide. It surely isn't going to work out. A slight contact. Sutton was 2 positions in the place of a couple of corners. Unlucky for some. Awkward. Sorry, Red Bull. Anyways, we've gone on to lap number 12 here. We're getting ourselves into a pretty damn similar situation here. Nearly 3 wide down this back straightaway here. Are we going to go to the... Oh, no! Oh. Well. Okay, then. Let's have a quick look at this again here. So, I'm not sure really what I'm doing. Down this back straight here, I'm trying to squeeze out Ocon. And I just sort of, when we brake, I sort of turn into him. Or whether it's just when I brake, I slightly locked up and hit. I don't know. It's completely my fault, and it's just so silly at the same time. Let's have a quick look at it on board with Adrian Sutil here, down this back straight. I'm so lucky that I caught it, to be fair. And so lucky that they actually lost a bit of time out of it as well. But just, what was I thinking? I just could have left a tiny bit more space and kept my P4. Come on, Alex, mate. Well, that silly mistake leaves us with like 6 laps here to try and get something out of this race that's better than P6. But whatever, we started P10, so I should be pretty happy with this. But nonetheless, side by side with Sutil, I'm going to get this overtake done running outside. We're not going to quite get in there, but we're trying to do the switch back. We've got more grip on these medium compound tyres, so hopefully we can get the acceleration down a little bit earlier. Side by side. No way. Switching to the inside, I think we're just going to be able to get it done there. There we go, down the inside. Exactly what we wanted, but that's a little bit harder than expected. Now Ocon has got a bit of a lead, so P3 podium probably not going to be quite possible enough for us here today. So on board with Sebastian Vettel on lap number 15, or the leaders on lap number 15, they just got onto it. So he's side by side now with Sutil. You can see I've made off. I've actually put in some really good lap times and managed to make off with it. But Sutil, under big pressure from Vettel, slightly bottled it there. But down this back straight, is Sutil going to get the overtake back done here? I think he might even have DRS, to be fair. Down the inside, Sutil, I think he's still side by side. Vettel's putting in a good job. Bit of contact. I think Sutil's just about going to keep it. The two Germans really battling it out here today. As we go on to lap number 17, you can see the BMW drivers who were battling sort of in the mid-pack have started to lose a lot of time. I just found this clip so funny. Let's just drive around side by side in last place. Anyway, last lap of this race here. We're quite far behind Esteban Ocon. We had to, we chased for a couple of laps, but then I decided just put it into lean fuel mixture or just standard fuel mixer. Just don't push this too much. The tyres are slightly limited around here, so we wanted to make sure we didn't do anything too silly here with a couple of corners to go. But good stuff from us there. Picking up P4, not too bad. It would be lovely to take our first podium this season, but unfortunately it just wasn't to be. And if we look behind us here, you can see still Vettel, Sutil, and now Verstappen are battling here over P5. Verstappen's done really good so far this season. The whole Skoda team has definitely impressed me. So down this back straightaway here, well, Sutil's looking for the overtake. Is he going to get past Vettel? I think he might just get him down the inside. It's still side by side between these two guys. Verstappen's actually on the hard tyres as well, so fair play. He's put in a big shift today, but Sutil's finally got through. He's into P5. And skipping ahead to the start-finish line, fair play. Giovinazzi, 2 wins in a row. And I think Daniel Ricciardo comes across the line not too far behind him as well. They're both celebrating. And then if we go on board with us, we're not going to come home with a podium, unfortunately. It would have been a great way to get our first podium from 10th place on the grid. But I still think 10th place on the grid to P4, not too bad whatsoever. So we're going to cross the line. We're going to get P4, the 12 points to come with it. That's going to boost us up in the standings a little bit after our pretty miserable, not going to lie, pretty miserable Australian Grand Prix. Not sure what went on here, a little bit of a glitch here until I skipped through. But nonetheless, not too bad whatsoever. Got ourselves some good points here today. So the podium, 2 Ferrari drivers and the Mercedes driver making up the front 3 positions here. And then apart from that, we've got ourselves in 4th place. Sutton in 5th. I need to actually mention, a lot of you guys commented down below that the flags can't be changed, the modder said, but if you do know that you can somehow change them, please let me know in the comments. We'll try and get that changed as quickly as possible. Some of the spellings have been corrected and more stuff is on the way, so when it's fully done, we'll definitely release it to you guys. But yeah, I thought I'd quickly mention that. So Sutton, P5, 6th place for Vettel, 7th place for Verstappen, 8th place for Ucci. Fair play, good stuff from him. And then another position there, points position for Lance Stroll, 10th place to Leclerc. He got his first points, fair play, good stuff for him. And then outside the points, Bottas, Pierre Gasly, Hamilton, after being like 3rd for a lot of the time, he drops all the way back down there with his late pit stop. Romain Grosjean, Carlos Sainz, Nico Carey, he's had a bad race, dropped a load of positions, 2 pit stops for him. Luca Giotto in there as well, Mick Schumacher not having quite such a good weekend as he did in Australia. For Kazumi, Russell, Hulkenberg and Verline is how the back of the grid ends up, so not great for the BMW Ferrari team once again. They really have struggled so far this season. It's looking near impossible for those guys to get any sort of points. So let's run through the standings here after the second round of the season. Giovinazzi on a maximum of 50 out of 50. Ricciardo's got 2 second positions, but it's 14 points behind, down 36. Esteban Ocon with 2/3 is now on 30 points. My teammate Adrian Sutil is on 22. Vettel's on 18 and I am on 16, so quite close there from 4th to 6th. Then a big battle here. Nico Carey on 8, Stroll on 8, both teammates there. Verstappen's also on 8 there for the Skoda team. And Santino Ferrucci with a great 8th place finisher today gets himself onto 4 points. The constructors look like this. Ferrari dominating as of yet, 86 points in comparison to Mercedes 48. We're 10 points behind on 38, whilst Williams are on 16. Skoda have 8 points, Haas have 5, Prema on 1, McLaren, Aston Martin, Toyota and BMW Ferrari all have yet to score. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. A big shout out to Hayden, who did the voiceover for the qualifying. Thank you once again. Link to his channel down in the description. Massive thank you to Chris as always for the mod. We're continuing to update it, and once it's fully complete, guys, it will be up on the sort of race department, I'm pretty sure. So, and also be doing a video with Chris talking about his future mods and also about this one as well. So that's pretty much it. Please remember to leave the like on the video if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it if we could hit 200 likes. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Have an epic day and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.